I am Zero, and this is my stream channel. Zero does stuff, and today Zero does. Oh, it's wrong to say does Adam. That's not quite right.
I mean, you
Um,
can say whatever you want. It's fine. I know what you mean.
yeah. Why is my chatty box not working? What is going on
Oh,
here?
I want to show off my nice
There we go.
face. My glasses cover up my nice face, but my eyes hurt when I don't have my glasses on.
Really? They
Ugh.
hurt? Your eyes are like that bad?
Well, it's not that they're bad. It's just that they're great because of these glasses, because I wear
Oh,
them
you've
to
gotten
protect my
so
eyeballs
used
from
to
the blue
them
light.
that you can't. Yeah, here's
And when I don't
mine.
have them on, yeah, I feel it. Like I literally feel my eyes like cringe, like searing when I'm looking at my screen for more than like a few seconds. Like I can feel the light being like,
Ah,
wow, it's like I'm staring into the sun.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that's okay.
I got my glasses because Adam recommended them. So I've got the same kind of blue light blocking glasses that Adam has,
Yeah, they're
but
very good.
totally different look. I mean,
Yeah. Oh no, I'm gone. Why did I disappear? Oh, there
oh
I am.
no,
I'm
you
back.
did disappear. It's really weird. Okay,
Did you move me?
No, I didn't. I didn't do nothing. All I did was fix the chatty box because that wasn't showing up. Anyway, we should do a proper introduction. This is Adam. Adam from Role Players Podcast. Yes. Notice we are missing out words because I fucked something up today, and that's going to be our ongoing joke, right? And where else are you from? Tell us everything about you, Adam. Adam, we want to know.
I'm from Pennsylvania in Western PA. I grew up in a small town of Salzburg. It's Indiana County, where all the country white people live, and they just there's about 800 of us there, and there's a river that used to have salt in it, but now it doesn't. And I moved away from that place, and now I talk like this, so it's a lot better for me and everyone involved. That's
Really?
who I am. How are you?
Did you used to speak like that for reals, or are you just shitting us?
I mean, I didn't talk like that, but I certainly, well, it wasn't quite that twangy, but I did kind of have, like, I grew up, I didn't realize that this little town I grew up in shared echoes of, like, the bigger city that we live near called Pittsburgh. And there's, like, a lot of, like, things that just, they call it Pittsburghese, which I thought was Salzburgese. Anyway, there's, like, have you ever heard anybody refer to a rubber band as a gum band?
No, but then I'm in New Zealand, so
Yeah, so, like, people around here say gum bands when they mean to say rubber bands.
I
So
guess I
they'll
could
say,
see
like,
it. But yeah.
yeah, they're like, "Oh, can you give me a gum band from the closet?" I'm like, "No, I'll get you a rubber band now." So yeah, I used to say a lot of weird shit like that growing up because of my surroundings. Soda or pop? Actually, it was both. Like where I say pop myself, but people just it was a very divisive subject in my little town of 800 people. Like, what you say soda? Go back to the city, you idiot. you know, but it's actually everybody's right because it's soda pop. So
Fizzy
everybody's right.
drink.
Fizzy, yeah, my other Kiwi friend also said, "Oh, it's fizzy drink."
Yeah. I think Sean posted something on Facebook the other day about how Southerners and Northerners talk different, and I think that it's more Northerners talk wrong was the angle of the post. But it basically said stuff like, "You call it Coke," and I'm like, "No, no, no. I've heard about this. Coke is only reserved for Coca-Cola. Coke does not mean all the other fizzy soda pop soft drinks, whatever you call it. When I ask for a Coke, I want a Coca-Cola, not random other whatever is available soft drink. That's
Well, when
another
you
one.
go
We
to
call
North
it soft
Carolina and
drink.
South Carolina, yeah, if you go to North and South Carolina and other southern states, you can go to a restaurant and say, "Hey, can I have a Coke?" And then they'll know exactly what you mean, even if it's not a Coke. Like they're like, "Hey, get me a Coke," and they'll give you like a Seven Up, and you'll be like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted," and you just walk away. Oh, is North Carolina? No, I don't think so. Because when I lived in North Carolina, when I went to Bojangles, everybody was calling it Coke in there. They were calling it Coke like everywhere because I was very confused. That's how I learned that like he said Coke, and I was like, but that guy just gave him a Seven Up. Why did they give him a Seven Up? He said Coke. Or Worcestershire sauce was a big deal too.
What? Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce. I don't know how to say it.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire. Worcest. War's Chester sauce. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's the fun things of
Yeah.
when you go to England and you're like, oh, that's how it's said. Right, okay. I'd never said it any other way before. I've always said it correctly. Sure. It's a lot of things that are
Yeah,
like
can you
they don't look like they should be said that way.
Rosie, that's how I imagine it's spelled. Yes. That's all. That's how I imagine it's spelled.
Worcestershire sauce. That's what Rosie has written in the chatty box.
Yeah, that was something, yeah, something like that. That's all I
Cheer
know.
one.
Yeah. Can I just say something totally outside of this conversation that's bugging me?
Yeah, sure.
Is you I click on one video because I see a girl sucking on a microphone and I'm like, what's this about? And now all of my suggested channels on the side of Twitch are all just like hot tub videos and somebody named Amaranth who's like apparently doing something with microphones right now. It's like I click one time because I'm curious and I can't get Twitch to stop telling me to look at these things.
Your mic curious. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Mike Curious. I'm just like, why is this woman? I'm like, why is this woman sucking on like her pop filters? Like, why? Like, that's not what those are for. And so I click on it, and then I didn't realize that it was just like a 10-hour loop of this woman doing this, and she's got thousands of people watching, and like, I don't know.
Wow,
And so I click
Adam.
on it one goddamn time, and Twitch is like, "What? You want all of these?" And then just like I just keep getting all of the fucking recommended channels on this side of this chat, and it's distracting. 13,500 people are currently watching this woman sit in a hot tub and do nothing.
You just looked
You
up
know?
to the side. Are you currently still watching that, Adam?
No, no, not
Not
anymore.
now. You
No,
just
no, I'm
clicked
not.
it shut.
No, no, no. I'm
What?
definitely watching your stream and nothing else.
Well, I know if you're
It's
hard
just
up
it's
for
so
money, maybe
distracting.
you should be recording yourself sucking on your pop filter. Maybe there's an audience
I
for
s-
that.
I spent like $4 on this thing, and I'm not about to ruin it by putting my mouth all over it. Hand check. Right here. Right
Handshake Adam for Rosie.
here.
Oh, what else do we need to know about
Sucking.
Adam? What does the audience want to know about Adam before we move on? I mean, we could go through the list. You obviously have a podcast. Tell us, what the fuck's up with that?
Um, I don't know.
You don't know.
It's
What is the podcast then? We'll start with that.
it's it's hard for me to come up with what makes it different than everything else because there's a lot of actual play shows out there. But yeah, it's a podcast about sucking pop filters. Um, and if you really listen closely, my mouth is on it like a lot in when I'm narrating. So like you guys don't know it because it's an audio only, but like my mouth is like really close to it a lot of the time because I want to come in real clear.
You want to
Um,
come in, right? Gotcha.
I do. I want to come clearly for everyone, you know.
Come all over
So,
their ear
but no,
holes. Got it. Yep.
yes,
Into
right.
their ear holes even.
Kiss it good night. More than just that. But yeah, no, it's we do a lot of different things, but like the cast has changed quite a bit because of just life circumstances. So it's me and my brother from a German mother, Adrian, right now, who are we're currently looking to revamp the show in a way. Um, but up to that point though, it's a lot of powered by the Apocalypse games. Things like I don't know. I think the thing that distinguishes it from everyone else is that I'm in it, and I like to think I'm like really good at improv. Yeah,
Well, if you say that, Rosie's also in it, and
Rosie's
I'm
in
in
it.
it, and Mr. Ray's in
True
it.
story.
Yeah.
True story. I have a lot of local like niche celebrities that come onto the show for the what we call the extended universe portion of the show. So that has been a real treat, and I think has kept the show afloat in times where the main cast couldn't get together. Yeah. So Onyx is here. He's in it too.
Yeah.
He's
The
in the show.
The funny thing is still we're not even setting your podcast apart because all of these people have also been on my podcast. So you need to come up with a
Yeah.
little bit more. I guess Adrian hasn't been on my podcast, so that's what sets it apart.
No. So
Adrian.
what sets my show apart is mine has a succubus in it at one point. Is
I mean,
that
I could always have a succubus, but that would mean interactions with Sean. I'm not sure I want to go there for. I'm not sure he'd want to go there for either. But maybe I could have a
you don't
guest on
think?
who plays a succubus. I mean, hint, hint, anyone listening or watching.
Yeah, there was succubus through a garden, succubus through a garden nose. I remember when Onyx, what did he say? He's like I'm a pacifist. It's like I'm a pacifist in your ass.
Yes, I
Just a
told him off
total
that.
antithesis of pacifist. Oh, you just did that motion
Dixon,
on camera.
yeah, I did. Dixon said, "Please do not give Sean a
Yeah.
succubus."
Hey, can somebody clip that? Can somebody clip that where she's doing this and then and then just really zoom in on it, so we have it as proof. So, um, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. All I know is that I think my show is, oh, I know what it is. My show has the extended universe where like we cross paths with other podcasts and bring them onto the show and potentially have our world like pop up in their worlds or at least certain aspects of it. So our universe shares some universes with other shows, and I think that's what makes it different. There we go. I figured it out. I got it.
I'm kind of hating to burst
Yeah.
your bubble here again, but I've got a one shot where I literally bring in players and their hunters from other shows and they play their own characters from those shows and meet up together. So pretty
Yeah, and
soon
that's great.
my podcast will be the same as your podcast again, right?
Well, let's just all remember whose podcast came first, guys. Okay, so let's just remember whose was born first when all this happens.
So they heard it here, folks. Adam definitely was the one to come first.
I came first, just so everybody knows. Yeah, and we have furry content. Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
A
both of
very
us have
particular horny
werewolves
cat.
of a kind. But yeah,
Yes. So, shall we make a creature?
I guess we shall. I mean, I should probably pimp your podcast links and
Does anybody else have any questions? I'll answer anything. I almost went to a swingers club earlier, but I didn't.
because you had to come on this
Because
stream, right?
because I
Is
had
that
this.
why?
I scheduled. That's like probably 25% of the reason I didn't go. Yeah.
Ah, what was the other 75? Is it 75%? Yeah.
There's a lot of. It's just a lot of. Um.
You didn't have anyone to go
Un.
with, and you're supposed to switch
n-
partners, right?
No, I did. I did have someone to go with actually.
Oh.
Um. And they were uncertain, and I was uncertain, and then I had said, there's too many variables with diseases, and what if I go and there's people there that I'm not attracted to that want to like if I pull their key or their name or something, and I don't want to be rude, but also like I don't know if they got diseases or if they smoke. I don't want to
Oh,
mac with
yeah.
somebody who got smoke breath, right? So I'm like, I don't want to be rude, so I thought maybe I resolved to do this. Maybe what me and this other person who are interested in doing it should do is just canvas some people, maybe online, maybe in the neighborhoods, and say, hey, what's your deal? Are you got all your shots? You got all your, you got all your shots. You got all your your immunizations, things like that. And
Have you
then
got
maybe we could
a
talk if
clean
you're
bill
interested
of
in.
health? Yeah, doctor's note, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right, doctor's note, clean bill of health, medical records. Any recent injuries I should know about. Have you recently been pregnant or have been considered becoming pregnant? Things like that. I just want to make sure that, we're all on the same page here. Social
Yeah.
security number,
Yeah.
last name of your mother's maiden name. Last for your social security. Blood type.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I win Lotto and I bring you guys all on over, we could organize. We were gonna do weed and hookers, but I mean, we could always try find some people for you to swing with.
Well, I would need someone to come with me to be my
Uh,
person that I'm offering for swingage.
uh.
Like I don't want to be the person that shows up without snacks. You know, like I don't want to be the one that doesn't bring food. So like if it's like a sex potluck, I want to bring somebody.
Yeah, you're gonna
you
bring
know,
that finger food. Yeah, totally. I got you.
right? That finger food,
Yep.
some tacos. Yeah,
Some fried
yeah. So I just want
eggplant.
to make sure. The Gucci, absolutely. Yeah, that's fine. The one, yeah, I don't want to be the snackless guy. I don't want to be known as the snackless guy. I really like that name. I want that to be the name of our monster, the snackless guy.
Really? Well, we should probably also explain what makes you the guy to make monsters. I mean, what's your street cred here? Why have I got you on, basically?
Is this an allusion to my wonderful, really high-selling book that you're talking about?
Yeah, totes.
Um, yes, I have actually. It's doing way better than I ever imagined it would. Like, I feel really. So Sarah and I collaborated. I essentially paid her to consider working on a book for me,
It took a few
and then
months.
she
I'm
took her sweet
sorry.
time. She took her sweet time.
I
She says,
warned
"Hey, Adam, don't pay
you.
me to."
Don't
She
pay
says, "Adam,
me.
don't pay me till the work is done." And then now I've learned my lesson.
And you did
That won't.
pay me before it was
I did.
done.
I paid her a sizable amount of money, and then I realized, like, boy, this is really taking a while. um, but we're
Yeah.
happy to know I made that money back, like probably fivefold, Sarah. So
Oh, good.
it's been, yeah. So it's all good. Um, but yeah, it's there's the book there. If you like, whether you play Monster of the Week or you don't, there are like some critters there that I think kind of have. Some are kind of familiar, some probably might not be. Some are custom made, some are tweaks on like current lore and things like that. And I just thought that there's a lot of people who struggle with coming up with like the monster of the week for this particular game. Like
Hmm.
oh no, the stream froze. There it goes. Yeah, monster of the week for this particular game, and so like I thought like I canvassed a lot of people and I just read a lot of tweets about the game and a lot of people said, "Does anybody have any suggestions? Does anybody ever have trouble? Does anybody ever have writer's block as a GM or whatever?" And I thought like, "Hey, you know what? Like it seems like there's a need for this." And I went on drivethrurpg.com and there was only one compendium on there, which is pretty decent. It's nice looking. It's
Mm-hmm.
I- Van Helsing's something something something.
Yeah, they've released
Um
a second one
but
now too. So.
Yeah, but I thought I can do better. I feel like I can do my own swing on that and really but mine ties into the current universe of our show.
Mm.
So like I think that's what makes it unique is it like it's written from the perspective of a company that hires people to hunt monsters but also to deliver packages. Uh
I don't
and
think we
so like
delivered any packages though. So.
cuz you guys work for the night shift, you don't work for the day
Ah,
the day people. Oh no, my picture disappeared. Where did I go?
you're back. You're back.
There I am. I'm back. So it all pertains to stuff within the world's lore. So any future compendiums that you see come out are all going to be like within the world, which I think is pretty cool. Mal delivered to Chelsea that one package. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
He
he
did.
did.
He did. It's
He del-
debatable on how well he delivered it.
that's very true. And then one time, Jim John delivered a package to a succubus in the face, so that was pretty cool.
I guess Lewis
Um,
delivered. Well, she didn't have a package, but
she's
anyway.
dropped a box. She's delivered a box or two
Oh yeah,
to
boxes. That's right.
all
Yeah.
the all the way to the past, all the way to the cowboy days.
Oh,
Carlton and the cat,
Carlton.
guys.
Yep.
Okay, tell me that wasn't funny. That was like one of the best things that we've ever done on the show. Was Carlton resurrecting a cat and then having this
Resurrecting that.
revelation that he's like I think this started him on his like semi-evil path because he's like, I just brought a fucking dead cat to life, you know. um, and I think, yeah, Lou. lose like Ace Ventura in the beginning of the first movie, where she just dents all the packages by punching it and kicking it, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Should
you
make sure those packages are not delivered in pristine condition.
know, we're going. It sounds broken. I'm sure it was something nice. um, yeah. So anyway, yeah, yeah. Check out the Creature Compendium, or in the very least, please copy the link and share it with anybody that you think could potentially benefit from. It's funness. Sarah made it look pretty. I wrote all of the text and the moves, and Sarah helped me make the moves make sense for the game. And we found the pictures together and all the good stuff, and you'll kind of see somewhat the process. Well, here, what we're gonna do here in a minute. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see if it works. I don't know.
what we'll do
So
is, if you could take us through your process, and then you can use examples or whatever. But then we will take suggestions from the audience and go through and use your process to make monsters. I'm
uh,
assuming you have a process. So it's just like, this sounds good.
sometimes honestly, what happens is I'm just like staring blankly somewhere, or like I'll hear a word and I'm like, oh, I have to write. Like, I was trying to come up with a name for the trickster in case anybody asked what his name was. And I was actually watching like some sort of political channel on YouTube at work, and then somebody said the word bedlam. And I was like, bedlam tickles my brain in a way that feels good. I need to write that down. So I wrote down the name Bedlam, and I thought, man, that's a really cool name for something. And then I was like, oh, I'm doing the Trickster show. If anybody asks what the Trickster's name is, his name will be Bedlam. So like that's kind of like where I start. Sometimes I just hear shit, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, the good tickle. Yeah. And so I got to get that good tickle in my old brain sack, and then that's sometimes how it starts. I'm not a very good planner, you guys. I just kind of make shit up. So like,
Yeah, I noticed.
I'm not I'm not good at planning anything. So, but yeah, so outside of that, I'd say honestly, like what I've been doing on Twitter lately is just like putting out a picture and being like, hey, what's this thing called? And then when somebody gives me a name, then like I'm like, okay, well that can give me something to work with, and then I build off of a name, or sometimes I'll build off something I think would be cool, and I'm like, well now I have to figure out what that stupid thing looks like. So I don't know. We'll see what works for a group collaborative monster build, and then we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Okay.
Could be good, could be bad. I don't fucking know yet.
We have no idea. Your mileage may
I don't.
vary. Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
how do you want to start this? Do we need a suggestion from the audience straight away, or what is it
You,
you're looking for?
you, you know, you know what would be good is I think that we should do like I've been doing on Twitter and find a picture of a monster, find like some sort of beastie look, and then just be like, hey, what is it called? And then kind of go from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
because I got a few that I've already saved. I think I even sent you a couple if you just want to use one of the ones that I sent you.
You sent me.
Um,
Where did you?
you
When and
know,
where did you send these?
remember you were like, "Oh, hey, there's that little guy that looks like he's a little flower person or whatever," and then you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I definitely sent you a bunch of critters the other day. I know I did.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Let me see if I can. It's in my
Let me see
shared
what
with
ones I have,
me.
and then
Everyone
yeah.
gets to
And
see
so
what's
like
in my Google Drive at the moment. Creatures 2?
in
Does
your
that sound
Droogle
right?
Drive.
Google Drive. Yeah, sure. Creatures 2. Might be
Yeah, here,
Creatures 2.
let's do
Yeah, here we go.
was this the right one? No, that wasn't it.
I've got it. If you want to look on the screen.
Yeah, why don't let's do the little guy, the little guy actually we could just let the audience pick. Is there one that sticks out to you that you think it's not Grass Groot, it's now has a name. I took a vote and its name is Grass Squatch. That's the name that got voted highest.
Grass
I
Squatch?
had
Oh my god.
I had almost 300 fucking responses to that tweet on this stupid monster.
Wow, really?
And like I put out two other ones and they haven't done nearly as well, but for whatever reason people saw this one and they just dove on it. And so this was the name. I had so many suggestions, but this one came up a few times. So I put that, Dave, and like two other names up, and Grass Groot was also an option. There was gosh, I can't remember. There were so many good ones. There was like the Reed Walker, the fuck, I can't remember. There was a lot of them. You have to go look at
I
the tweet. There's
noticed
a
there's a
shit ton.
few females in here.
Well, because
Sexy
there's not a whole lot of.
females.
I was typing in the search engine things like magic, mythical, things like that, and like just these kept coming up. So like I feel
Mhm,
like somebody's just
mhm,
really into doing
mhm.
like female art because it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, probably. Um, so yeah, that kind of spectral gargoyle looking guy to the right of the Grim Reaper is pretty neat. I had somebody also do Hermes did the fire thing there, so we can't use that. Rosie actually named that little owl kitty cat thing, so look forward to that. Um, there's also we could also do any of the three on the bottom, the little polyp thing, the thing in the graveyard. So we could just pick one of those and have the audience decide.
Dixon
Mr. Ray's
says,
currently working on the cowboy looking thing.
"Oh, is he? He looks kind of a little bit like Jonah Hex." Dixon says the little guy up at the top looked like a grey ET with a tail. A grey ET with
Oh
a
yeah,
tail.
the little one with the lantern. Yeah, I like him a lot. I'm very interested to find out with my brain and maybe everyone else's brain what that one is because I don't know. I just thought it was a very aesthetically pleasing picture. um, I don't know why I like it so much, but I really really like that one.
I really like this
It's just a
bodyguard guy who kind of looks like an alien, but also kind of looks like a fish or an eel.
he's
You
like yeah
know,
he's like Alien Hitman. Um,
alien
yeah, I found a
hitman.
lot of alien pics. I don't know why they kept showing up, but I saved them anyway. I don't know if I'm going to use them all, but he has a backpack. Does he have a backpack? Who? What, the little guy? Does he have a backpack on? Is that a plant, the coconut shaped thingy? Yes, that is a plant creature, I think, that the one that you're referring to. Um, but yeah, I think I had some people put in some information. We could also work on the phone alien. I got a couple of responses about him. Um, the black thing on his back. Oh, okay. Hmm, look at that. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, also like crazy looking Mothman thing. I'm probably gonna save
Yeah,
that for Mr. Ray as well.
drugged out, dried
Yeah,
up myth mothman, myth man,
right. Myth Man. Meth
myth.
Man.
Yeah, myth moth.
Hobo
Hobo alien.
Alien.
This
I
this
mean,
this guy with
that's
a
fine.
skull looks interesting.
We could work on them too. Honestly, I don't have names for most of these yet. So there's only like four that you've shown that we have data for. So all the rest are fine. I did pick a few human looking things because like sometimes they're
Mm-hmm.
like the cause of the trouble, you know? So like I thought it'd be good to have some like actual kind of like Darby. Darby's a leprechaun, but he has a personality and he can talk to you and he's not just like a beast that kills for no reason. So I thought some of these might be interesting. That
What's
kind of like undead magician looking thing with the pet wolf is also interesting. Um, so he
yeah,
could be
yeah.
like some sort of like evil druid. There's a couple of orcs. I just thought I haven't done orcs yet,
Yeah,
so I
there's a
thought
few
orc would be
orc
cool.
looking ones.
Yeah, because I have goblins in the first book, so I thought why can't I use like an orc or an ogre in the next book?
Okay, this one
I
bottom
think
left has horns. It doesn't look like he has eyes, so that could be interesting.
we could go over that one too. Yeah, it's kind of honestly, I feel like someone just posed an action figure and then blurred the background, but I still like it. I still think it looks cool.
But I
So
also
I
fucking
grabbed
love
it.
that thing in the middle on the top with the giant bright lantern like
You
light
want to do
bulb
that? We could do
eyes.
that. I have
Yeah.
no idea. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do him or them.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know if it has a gender or even a personality, so we can do that one. So we can blow that bad boy up and we can start there or put him in the Google Doc and then, there we go.
Yeah. Let's
The
see.
horn thing has a beak. It could
Laser.
be a beak. I don't know.
So it's
All
six
right, so
one
let's
two
figure out.
four
Okay, so the little
six.
kind of flower bud looking thing in the middle there. What do we want to call that thing? Like, what are some names that we could use to maybe launch inspiration? Or if you already have an idea about what you think it is, it's a lure, kind of like uh, the land angler. Yes, the angler. It could be like a developing angler from once it dies, it plants like disintegrates into the ground, and then like a new angler is born, an upside down angler, if you will, a langler.
Oh, he's got
Wrangler.
little. Yeah, he can like. It looks like he attaches to people with his fingernail. They look like chicken leg crossed with people fingernails at the bottom there.
Skangler.
Scary angler. Wow. A pineapple
Yes, yeah. See, it's got
naga.
like
Wow.
it's kind of like an angler upside down. Like the angler usually has like the tentacle hanging like dangling at the top, and it does its thing. But it does kind of look like it's a an alternate the skangler. I really um yeah. So like from the size of it, does it look like it's big, or is it just because it's in the foreground that it's gigantic? Like is this more of like a little guy? Is this like a little dude? Or is this just like a big fat ass like tree thing? Looks like something from a Harvest Festival corn maze mystery.
Mm.
Where would it come from? Where would it go? Where would it come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Looks bush size.
Yeah, I saw that
No,
coming.
not all bushes are created the same. So it just depends on
Some are well
what
maintained,
kind of bush.
others are not.
Yep, some are in a row. There's just a bunch in a row.
Trog says it looks. He thinks
Trogs,
it's coconut sized. Yeah, I could see that for the
uh,
head. It does look like a coconut too.
like a big old coconut. I mean, it could be. I'm fine with any and all of that. Is there a way to take a poll, like to have someone put up a poll to say, hey, you know,
There
which
probably is, but I don't know how to do it off the top of my head in here.
slash poll? Is that a thing?
It might be
Slash poll.
something I can do
Nothing.
more easily when I have 50 followers. So if you haven't followed yet, please follow.
Yes.
We're so close.
Curveball.
Curveball.
Curveball. That's an incredibly friendly monster. Oh, it helps lost children find their
Ah.
way home. Well, that's interesting. Well, then what would make the hunters have to go and deal with it or encounter it? Would it be leading them? Because actually, I have someone else uh who does something who actually Rosie's working on a creature that does something kind of similar where like it's like an omen bringer. Um so if this is kind of like a creature that like helps children get lost,
It
um
helps them to get
maybe
lost,
they
or it helps them once they're lost.
or help them once right. Hey kid, follow me. Just grab my little
Yeah, it could look totally
roots.
cute and lead them off astray in the forest, but then once they're alone, it can like reveal its true form, which is apparently
My
prickly
eyes are
teeth
freaking me out.
and giant eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look very friendly, but maybe that's the point. Maybe it's like, no, you can trust me. All these sharp teeth are just for show. I don't need these for actually rending flesh and bones. Like they're just, there for eating. I'm like a Venus flytrap. That's what I am.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Okay, well, let me ask you all this. Okay, let's start with this. Is this thing intelligent in any way? Like, can it communicate with people? Or is it just like a beastie that, like, at least with words, can it communicate with words? Can it use its brain to talk? Or is it just more so like how a dog would lead you somewhere? It just like runs in that direction and looks at you and hopes that you're following it. It doesn't do that. Maybe it acts cute and burrows underground and leads its prey off. How can it eat fish without sharp teeth? It's a fish eater? It's a plant that eats fish? That's interesting. Okay. Um, all people are lost. Um, soul plant. I like something with soul in it. That's interesting.
It
Soul
sucks out your
tree.
soul.
No. Does it suck your soul? Is that what it does? Is that why it glows? I
Yeah,
vote
what,
no
what?
talking. It doesn't. Okay.
Maybe it needs two
Huh?
cells to light up its eyes, one for
Oh.
each eyeball.
I'd piss myself if it talked. You'd be like, "Oh fuck." You're like, "Oh my god." um, yeah. Okay. So we'll say it's about the size of a coconut head. It sort of looks like a virus. Oh, like the creature itself looks like kind of like what like a blown up like cell would
Oh,
look like a viral infection would look like soul virus,
ugh, I just had some water and it
viral
did not taste nice.
Viral soul infection,
Salteria,
and
like bacteria.
what'd you say?
Salteria.
Solteria?
But that kind of makes it sound like
Destruct.
a little dog, a terrier, you know?
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Maybe the eyes glow bright. Okay, so Oh, it could be kind of like how the Baba Yaga works, where like it like can make animals do shit, but maybe in this case it like propagates itself by like attaching. Maybe it like attaches to a creature or something and controls it with its little claw fingers or something. You know,
Hmm.
everyone starts loving Margaritaville once infected. I could see that. I could see that. Like, is Margaritaville in New Zealand? Is that where it
I don't know what we're talking about now. I'm lost.
is? The Baba Yaga thing would match it. Yeah, yeah. I guess it would. That does. The foot does kind of look a little chickeny, just a little bit. Can you scroll down to the? Can you blow it up to the tootsie a little bit, or
I
can
don't
you
know if
shrink
I
it so
can.
we
I
can
don't.
see the?
All of it? You want to see all of it on the screen?
Yeah, and maybe you can just shrink the picture a little bit so we can see the little digits. Because that's blood. That looks like blood to me, y'all. Is that its own
Yeah,
blood? Why is
that
there
is a
blood?
blood.
Where's the blood?
I think it's attached to something currently. I think that's supposed to be. It kind of almost looks like a body underneath it, sort of. Or it
Yeah,
could
'cause I'm like,
be
where's the blood coming
rocks.
from? Is it digging into something? And yeah, if we look
Mm-hmm.
at the very bottom fingernail and the one to the right, it does kind of look like it's digging into something, doesn't it?
Mm.
Because it's like it doesn't look
Mm.
like it's its own blood.
No.
I think it's bigger than we thought. Yeah, maybe it's a lot bigger. Maybe it's like
Maybe it needs a host.
Jimmy Baba Yaga. Is this Jimmy Baba Yaga? It's caught a bear, a hippo. Are we calling it a hippo or a caught a hippo? Hippo's got some thick ass hides, y'all. Um, yes.
maybe it rides people, and I don't mean that in a sexual manner. Maybe it just attaches, and it uses the body as a host, and it just wanders around with it.
Yeah, I think maybe it does like I do like the idea of it like kind of subjugating something. I do think that's an interesting or maybe its eyes are kind of for like how Rosie was saying earlier, kind of like an angler. Maybe the eyes are more so for
Oh.
like freezing something in place, like in a hypnotic fashion to be like kind of like stun
Ooh.
it somehow,
Yeah.
you know? Or like hypnotize it temporarily so it can like mount it because it doesn't look like it's a very fast creature. So the only way it's going to do that is if it like hypnotizes them or if it jumps off of a tree like a tick or something. Um,
Yeah. So there would.
yeah, like
Yeah, I like that. The whole hypnotize or stun.
yeah, it doesn't have to be totally fleshed out, but
Hypnotize
yeah, maybe those eyeballs are
prey
like
in
maybe that's what it's
place.
for. Maybe it's like dark and then maybe somebody sees like a glow in the forest, like oh, it's a neat flower or a glowing mushroom. Let's go look at it, and then
Kind
it
of like the will o
flashes you with
wisp.
its yeah, like a will-o-wisp. And then it flashes you with its big old eyes, and then you're like, "Whoa, wow, it's crazy."
Tracks with
Ca-
its eyes in the darkness and then hypnotizes prey in place to have its way with it. In order to what? Eat it?
to subjugate it
Subjugate.
to, but what's its? But I guess we would need to know why. Why is it because it's propagating, and that's how like it propagates is like it needs to ride something for a while and like infect its whole body, or does it just kill things? Like maybe it doesn't ride it. Maybe that's just how it like how some bugs will like plant their nests in like a dead other bug or a dead animal. Could strangle
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that's true. It could be the strangler angler.
So the strangler, really, is what you're saying.
The strangler.
Or it
Yeah.
could be like those what is it? Is it the mushrooms that will or something that infects the ants and the ants go and walk it back to their ant what do ants live in?
A bot fly, is that what it
And their
is?
nests and they all get infected. So it just needs to ride
Mm.
one prey into the midst of others in order to infect. embeds itself and
Embeds
restructures
itself in
DNA. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Okami. They have those. Yeah, they have those triangular teeth. Like those are definitely for ripping something apart. So, but like, what does it eat? Um, Bottles lay eggs and skin. Yeah, I think I like the idea that either it lays eggs or like maybe it's like 28 days later, or like it in certain creatures it can like dig its dirty ass nails into it and like maybe it creates like an infection or something. Um, Maybe that's what it does. Is then oh, maybe it doesn't kill the thing. Maybe it knocks it out so it can plant itself in it, and then it's kind of like a zombie thing where like the creatures will go bite other creatures, or maybe like a wolf will kill a deer, and then the deer will reanimate as like a bloodthirsty fucking zombie deer or some shit. You know, like maybe it doesn't mean to hurt humans. Like it's not that it's opposed to it, but whatever it infects, like it just creates. That's how it propagates. Maybe that's its motivation is to just propagate. You know, like that's how I make more things like me. And then, you know, maybe eventually more of these things grow inside of the like maybe little versions of it grow inside of the infected creature until it gets big enough like a xenomorph and just pops out of its head or some shit. It's got four claws and it's got something deeper going on. You mean like at the like between the little toe digits, little toe digits? The claw hooks onto host while head savagely. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it definitely looks like it needs to eat. So like maybe that's also part of it. Maybe like while it's infecting something, it also just digs in to to help itself get bigger or something, you know? Um See, but this is kind of how I do it. Like I just have more questions than I do answers most of the time. And then more often than not, I'm just yelling out loud and then hoping that like something will bounce off the wall and I'll hear it and it works. What if it uses the host blood? Well, yeah, okay, I like that. Yeah, like to feed itself. You mean it eats and leaves carcasses for its spawn, and its feet are like roots. Yeah, okay, yeah. See, now we're getting somewhere. See, this is how it works. I don't even know until I start. You know, when I made the last book, I did it all before I knew I had the pictures, and it was really difficult when
Yeah.
Sarah and I were trying to find pictures that matched the shit that I was making up in my head. And so I was like, boy, I need to do this the other way around this time. I need to find the pictures first and then work from what I think they are. The center of the foot, the extra blood in the middle is coming from a larger puncture. Is it drinking blood? Or maybe like what Rosie was saying, maybe is it sucking blood up through its little toe digits, or is it less plant, or is it like how a vampire infects you with like the punctures, and maybe the teeth are just for like it eating while it like it's multitasking. It's eating while it's shitting into the body. You know, maybe it eats the flesh, quickly processes it, and then reinfects the host with like saliva-ridden refuse from the thing it's eating. You know, it does kind of make it look like it grew out of the wound. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking is like a mosquito. Yeah, yeah, like maybe it's leaving something behind. You know, even though like it's eating, or like how ticks leave diseases. You know what I mean? Like they don't attack things knowing that they're going to infect them. They jump and bite onto things until they get big enough that like they're full. But then what happens when a tick gets what's called engorged is all the little gut bacteria that lives inside of the tick gets forced out, so it makes more room for blood, and it goes inside of whatever it's biting. You know, so like maybe that's how this thing just but it propagates that way. Maybe like it you know, just it eats and forces like the toxins from its body into the puncture wound or something, you know? That's grotesque. I like that.
Well,
The
the
toes are
question
holding it in
then
place.
is that how it's like creating more like babies or whatever? So they like eventually crawl out as little tiny things from the. So the host is just the incubator.
Right, and it's still going to be like crazy and like, maybe it'll act out and people are like, "Oh, we've had to put down like 6 good cows today," or it's like mad cow disease, or we've had to, there's been deer that have been attacking people and they're like half eaten, and that maybe that will spark the hunters and they're like, "Oh, well, what the fuck? Like there's deer, half-eaten deer attacking people? That's weird." And then they can find like there's these little growing things inside of it, that they're like, "Oh, what
Okay.
the fuck?" And maybe that's how like this thing grows more of itself.
Yeah, because
It's
in
really a worm
the
with a fat tail.
In the book Monster of the Week, it tells you how you can make some monsters, and it reckons there's like 12 main monster types, and one of them is considered the breeder, where the motivation is to give birth to, bring forth, or create evil. So, in a sense, it's literally breeding and using the bodies as the
Yeah.
incubators.
It's kind of like an aggressive dandelion, where, like, like when a dandelion turns white, the wind blows it, or something runs past it, or a human kicks it and the seeds go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like, I'm not waiting for the wind to blow. I am the wind. And it's just like, I'm putting my seeds. What if the monster is in this state to reproduce, and then the head we see was previously attached to something? So do you mean like, um, do you mean like it could be like a different head of something that's like at the end of the little chicken foot? This could definitely be like a Baba Yaga creation that, like, got away and just started its own life.
It could always
uh,
be building another house from itself.
right. The head is a decoy, and the actual body and mind is Duggan's. I mean, it could be. Yeah, I do like the idea that the head is. It could be both. It could be the attractor and the incapacitator. Like a creature's like, oh, what's this? Maybe it creates like a warmth or like a very hypnotic light that a deer or like a wolf or something's like, oh, what is this? And they go over there and it goes, what you? You know, it's like solar flare in Dragon Ball Z, but like it hypnotizes you, or it's like Dracula's gaze or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the mouth is the four little claw parts, and the head, and this head is ripped out and then used to attract prey to the new host. That's pretty gory. That's pretty graphic. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's a good. Well, so let's nail down like things that I think we can all agree on. We know that it wants to propagate, right?
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that that's what it wants to do. Um, I think that we can all agree that um, it uses its eyes to, in the very least, attract and or incapacitate whatever it is that it's trying to propagate with or into or onto. It's kind of grotesque. It's kind of sexual in a way, It's like trying to spread its seed into. Other species.
Oh,
It's
cross
like, hey,
species
let's
propagation.
interspecies propagation. Yeah. Um, I like the idea that the dandy,
So these things could
the
actually be
rent.
really, really tiny if you want to go along the dandelion route.
It could, yeah, it could. It very well could. Like, it could be kind of like a tick, like I said, where like maybe you don't even like really notice it until it's too late. The dangly lion, the dangly lion. Hey, let's go. Hey, hey, baby, you want to go hunt some dangly lions?
Oh dear.
you know I do, baby. Dangly lion. Yeah. So, I mean, we don't have to know that for sure, but either it can be a large, maybe like the size of like a cat. Um, at least its head, it's a coconut.
Dixon says that's what
Have-
Sean wants to be called. The
It
dangly
must be called the
lion.
dangly lion. Yeah. All right, Rosie, we'll get back to you, buddy. Thanks for all the input. Um, Also, yeah, feel free to send me that doc whenever you're ready for it. Um, but yeah, dangly lion is good. But yeah, so do we want to? But if it's one little guy, does that mean that like there's a bunch of them that you have to contend with, or is it just like a random mutation of some sort that maybe grows in gardens or something, or maybe it plants itself in gardens and or other plant life? I don't know.
I mean, that could be
Wh-
why it arrives because it has been planted in someone's garden. They say maybe
It's like Little Shop of Horrors.
they bought it from a witch without realizing it, or a hag or something, because they did someone, they accidentally without knowing it, did a wrong slight to a witch, and she plants it in the garden in the middle of the night. Plant the seed. Ooh, just to continue with that theme.
Yeah. If it's a breeder, there could be one mother. It's true. There could be like one that like just like shits out a bunch of little ones. Maybe it finds like a spot and then just like releases all these little things and then,
Yeah.
maybe it's like
So we've got the bigger
maybe it's like the
plant,
one
and
that
then
controls.
the little dandelion seeds.
Yeah. Yeah, so we could either have it be, that it tricks people into growing it or but I also like the idea of it being something that like that we were talking about earlier where like it it like fucks with the local wildlife. Like it's not something that's friendly to other ecosystems, you know what I mean? Like it's that could be like the but then like maybe like a hunt you could do is like a Baba Yaga like says she shows up as like, you know, just like a peddler and is all also like, well, hey, and maybe she has like a town that she has a beef with and she's like, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
selling flowers, and she just,
Mm.
like drop some off somewhere to like a local florist or something. The midnight would be the mama's finished breeding and a new batch swarms. Right. Yeah. Like, you want to figure out where this thing is. It's already infecting a bunch of other animals. And, because it has like this kind of psychic hypnosis, maybe like if the mother dies, all the other plants die with it. Like maybe that's why it's like infecting all these other animals to kind of help keep it safe because it's not particularly, that harmful. Like we could probably figure out that it doesn't take a lot of harm to kill it,
Yeah.
but it probably has a lot of it could hypnotize things, stun things.
Ooh.
Maybe it's more so like an annoying creature. Hive mind. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good idea. They're all
Yeah.
linked to the queen. Yeah.
Yeah, take the whole ant or even bee kind of analogy where the queen stays in place and the little worker
Right.
bees and ants are the ones that go off and infect all the people or whatever and intend on. Yeah, they just want to feed mummy and
Right.
unknowingly infect all the other wildlife.
I just wrote Dandy Legion.
Oh, I like that.
Somebody who said hive mind. Okami said hive mind, and I was like Legion from Mass Effect, and I was like Legion, Dandy Legion. Gives that demonic edge to the name. What do you call a horde of dangly lions? A dangly legion. A dangle
Nice.
legion. Or a dang legion. It's called a dang legion. A damnedy legion. Damnedy legion.
So, do you want to
Is
do
that
the
too weird?
hive mind or what?
Yeah, I mean there has to be some sort of
Cause the
connection to the other
yeah.
ones, right? So like yeah, I mean maybe like this thing can see like what its other little things are doing, or maybe like they communicate back to it at least.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or maybe like when it infects all these other animals, maybe like um, does it infect animals? Like, does it use like we always use like monsters as like things that are hunting people.
Yeah. Well, animals would be
Um,
a good start early on the countdown.
right, like it's infecting other creatures and stuff, and then like as these
Then it
animals
moves.
wander through the woods, like a hunter sees it, or like a hiker gets attacked or something, and then they come back and they're like, got this crazy ass infection. We got like an apocalyptic zombie thing going on. We're like, oh God. Um, and so yeah, okay, yeah. Why don't we do that? So we'll say that it's a parasite, like the T virus, but like it's active, it's alive. It's not something that like a scientist made. It's like a semi natural, a supernatural hive-minded dandelion that like there's one mother and then like it spreads other ones, probably created by like a Baba Yaga or some sort of hag or witch, um, or maybe like some other magical presence nearby, maybe like formed it from I don't know, Maybe like a witch was slain nearby or something, or maybe like some ingredients got knocked the fuck over. Um, but we know that it likes to eat things and it spreads itself through these little fellas. So are we saying that like originally like it'll like hypnotize something and then like latch onto it with its little tootsies and like infect it? Um, or are we? I'm worried what mother looks like. Well, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Um, but yeah, so we've got that. So I mean, obviously, um, it probably doesn't like being cut. So we could say affirmatively that if you're gonna cut down a weed, bring a weed whacker, like something. The weed, or maybe this thing's called the weed attacker. No, the weed tacker. No, tack,
They could be
tack,
little weedlings.
weedlings. Yeah, we can call them weedlings. Yeah. So weakness, like if you kill the mother, all the rest will kind of eventually perish. The weedler. um, that's pretty close to a Pokemon, isn't it?
So this would be more of a queen to possess or control, or a parasite to infest, control, and devour. So this is where they get some overlap. It's very hard sometimes to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like those are suggestions. We could do both. We can make it be like a mother because everything wants to propagate its own species. That's why ultimately, like, viruses are what they are.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
it's so they can live longer. So, I think that still checks out. Um, what do we call it? The Dandy Legion?
Yeah.
No, that's our placeholder name until we come up with something
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. So, I
uh,
know you said that it was infecting them in order to spread. What if they infect the creatures not to spread, but to then have the creature walk themselves back to mother, so mother can eat them?
well, yeah, maybe like when it gets to like some sort of like gestation period, like it just like it the creatures all of a sudden, like maybe that's how hunters can find it, is like they're following like some sort of rabid creature like that all of a sudden seems very calm, going back to yeah, I think maybe once it's been propagated enough that like it's maybe after it infects X amount of people, like it knows like, okay, well, I'm done, I should go back and get eaten now. Or maybe mother calls it home. And it's like, okay, you've done enough, like come here and feed me, Seymour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I like that maybe that's how it eats. It doesn't have to go anywhere at that point. It's like, all right, I've got minions doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe it grows to the size of a house if you don't stop it before it's too late.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
it would probably need to be like hidden away in a cave or a forest or somewhere a bit out of the way, wouldn't it? So it wouldn't be interrupted anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, definitely. I think, at some point, if it propagates or if it gets too large, like it'll definitely start to infect like other plant life, maybe. And like, maybe that's like the midnight hour is like, it spread its seed everywhere, like in living, like sentient creatures. And then now it's like infecting just the wildlife as a whole. Um, but yeah, cutting it would be good. Fire, obviously, like, I think pretty traditionally, like, you set on fire, it's not gonna like that. It's still a plant at the end of the day. Um,
Weed killer?
but the real, huh?
Weed killer?
Weed, weed killer, bleach, anything really that kills that plants won't like, eating it, I guess. You don't want to do that, I guess, but don't put your mouth on it. The head is for storage for nutrition that they feed to mother. Yeah, right. The bigger the head gets, the
So you're
the more
saying, dang
juice
it.
it's got.
So does mother eat the heads of these little guys? Is that what you're saying? Not the things that it's.
Oh, you think it like eats the heads of its kids?
So like the
Or
heads
like
start
it
out
eats
really tiny and then it gets bigger and bigger as it's.
it's like a big fruit. It's like a big fruit that the mother eats.
Well, that could mean that these
I
little
mean,
tiny things would be hanging around on people or wildlife for a while, making them start to act erratically or whatever the people that they're on and
yeah.
the animals. And then they get bigger and bigger and bigger and they become more obvious that they're there or something. And once they're big enough, they turn the host around and send them back to mother.
Yeah. Well, you know what else I just thought of that I think is similar, but maybe I don't know if we want to go down that path or not. But now that they say that, it does kind of seem like it could be like a fruit. Maybe like it grows big enough to like animals or people will like pick it or like eat it because it looks like an apple or like some sort of, dangly fruit that a creature could,
Mm,
potentially reach. And then like it just feeds itself or its children feed itself to
mm.
the animals, like they grow themselves as like little fruit or little
Oh.
veggies somewhere. Kind of like how deer eat corn in the cornfields. Maybe, like, oh, hey, this is a nice little treat here. Let's eat that, A
And then
seed
they
pod.
they 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 burrow their way outside or what? I mean, I'm trying to explain why they have teeth and claws here. We've still got to explain that. And luminous
Right. Yeah,
eyes.
that's true. Or maybe they're just like Venus flytraps, where something leans in to eat what looks like a fruit or a plant, and it goes yeah, and just like bites, bites in. It's like surprise, motherfucker, and like maybe that's how they infect it. Or like zombies, they infect with their teeth.
To
They have
get
teeth and claws for evil. Like that's what the book's gonna say. Like the the hunter's guide is just gonna say like, guys, just so you know, if you're wondering after all of this lore why it has teeth and claws, because they're evil. That's why. Because they're evil plants. Evil, capital E.
So the whole we
The
could
the
stick with the idea that they it still attract thing animals and stuff with their little eyes or their giant eyes depending on how big they are and in the darkness, and they could instead of hypnotizing them to stay in place, they could hypnotize them to eat them.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, either way, hypnotize them or just stun them. Maybe it just knocks them out like a flashbang grenade. Maybe it like disorients them. Like whatever that, because we could also turn that into a move for the hunters, like how they
Mm-hmm.
resist it. Like the flash comes up, like, oh, if you fail, like you pass out, or you're,
Stunned
I don't know,
or yeah, I've done pass out or
yeah,
stunned options before. Yeah.
yeah, or maybe like if you get like a mixed success, maybe like you're just, disoriented, like you're not down, but like you're like, whoa, shit, maybe like you have a minus to your cool rolls or something while avoiding, um, avoiding any sort of danger or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Baby's hypnotized to bring them to mom. Mom hypnotized them as a defensive measure. Maybe it's stronger. Yeah, maybe the parent one does like, it's literally
Mm-hmm.
just to keep it from being. It doesn't have much of a defense outside of like, let me flash you until like I give you seizures. You know? Every time you get up, it's like, there's another one.
All that flashing.
Imagine, yeah, imagine having that power. People just flash someone until it gives them seizures. Like, hey, here's my bits. Phrasing. Yeah, so
Exactly,
on fire,
Jason.
weed killer. It's a plant.
Yep.
Yeah, teeth can attack, so can claw. Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Like maybe, maybe if something picks it up or plucks it, it's all like, it can claw you or whatever. But yeah, the teeth, much like the angler, are like its greatest like physical harm weapon. Like there's a lot of them. And they can probably open that mouth up pretty big, I think. Open that mouth wide there, plant girl. Teethies. Yep, definitely know what teethies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, little claws, as they say
How
in
much
England,
damage
claw.
then? We might as well get into the stat side of the, away
I
from the
think the claw's
narrative
probably
and
not
more
as
to the stat side.
right. Um, $1 million smile. I liked it as like a name for like an attack. um, so like yeah, I think Mama's weakness is the head or the seed pod. Yeah, for sure. Like if it loses that, or if it gets crushed, like what the fuck's it gonna do? Um, maybe its teeth do like 3 harm. Um, and
Intimate.
maybe it has like maybe it has some sort of extra effect if that's how it infects things. You
That would
know?
be where the custom move would come in, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe. 3 harm, intimate, um,
Bloody.
and one move has to be feed me Seymour. Yes. Yeah, intimate, bloody, ouch, ouch, ouch move. um, maybe it can like rend or detach. Um, that's one thing that you don't see a lot in Monster of the Week attacks is where like if something with
No.
that many teeth bites you, especially if it's in the hand, like yeah, messy. That's what I was looking for. Like yeah, like that's gonna fuck you up. You're gonna lose some fingers.
Well,
you know.
but I wouldn't do it immediately. I would say this would be a special move to rend or remove body parts. I'd still give them a chance to kind of get away from that kind of thing. I wouldn't
Or
say
you
I
would,
wouldn't.
I wouldn't, but I wouldn't because I'm mean, But if someone gets bit in the finger and they're like, "I have 2 armor," I'm like, "On your finger? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think unless you're wearing a gauntlet, I don't think so."
Or it's magical.
Or yeah, if it's magical, maybe, but if it's like, "Oh, I got bit in the hand," oh well, that's 2 armor. I don't think so.
Bite,
Lashing
bite,
out.
and a shake. Yeah.
There you go, like shake, rattle, and roll.
Shake, rattle, and
Or
rend.
shake. Yeah, shake and steak. Mistaken shake. Nope. Yes, mistaken shake.
Mistaken shake. You want to call it that?
make, make myself laugh. Like like yeah, they get too close, you bite, and then they just like a dog trying to rip you apart.
I really like
Maybe
shake,
that's how they
rattle, and rend, but sure, we can make it
shake, rattle,
mistake.
and rend.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's do everything you want to do.
Yeah, this is my stream, Adam. I have control of the
Well, this
Google Doc.
this will be in the upcoming um second edition of the Monster of the Week Creature Compendium, so keep an eye out on that.
Sure. Did you want to do it as a move like when creature has hunter in its mouth? Roll tough or
Creature
something?
has Hunter in its mouth. Um, sure. Let's do like when when maybe we make it like a do we want to make it for like yeah, if they've latched on, like if they've taken damage, like if Hunter takes damage from bite, roll plus something.
Yeah.
And then, if fail, you know, I don't know, maybe lose a fingy. I don't know when monster has hunter in mouth.
That's what I had. Yeah, I can put that back.
Yeah.
When monster has hunter in mouth.
Or like if the creature latches on, like maybe that's one of its moves is like it latches on to, you know,
Yeah, we can
like
do that.
maybe it's like a twofold move. Maybe it's like a twofold move where it's
You
like,
want them to roll
roll
lots?
plus roll plus whatever to avoid being latched onto, you know. Maybe it's like an infection. Maybe that's a different move where it's like, that's well, we definitely need to have a move for it's like flash too. Um, like don't look at the flasher or or the flash is on.
Don't look into the light. Blinded
Yeah,
by the light?
that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that or the flash is on. Like I like that like camera wise, like the flash is on. Or can't support flash. Flash is not supported. When
People are not going to
when
understand some of these references, Adam. Some people are too young.
you guys understand the flash reference, right? Or what if we call it flash? Ah.
It's even older.
Use your blinker. I like that too. That's pretty good. Um,
Blink or you'll miss it.
uh, yeah, blinker. Oh, that's good too. Blinker. I barely know her. Blink
Blink
182.
182. Yeah, I was just thinking that.
um, When creature latches on, deals 1 turn after every player's turn.
What? When
Gordon is
creature?
alive. Less than 2 armor automatically becomes unstable. Yeah, like I like the idea of it. Like if you take it on one, it can't be like that difficult. But like unless like you get caught in its flash or something. Maybe we should focus on the flash first. Like
Okay.
it's really probably not going to be that agile of a monster. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
unless it's already stunned you. Like it's not going to be able to outfight a fighter. So like I think its whole shtick is that like it's an ambusher or it's like an unsuspecting problem.
Mm-hmm.
So like yeah, the mom particularly, right? So like that's kind of what I'm basing all this off is that if they come into contest with the leader. Um, so if they're gonna try to fight that thing up close, or if they don't know what they're looking for, maybe they go into the cave seeking the thing, and then poof, big flash of light. Like maybe it's like latched onto the ceiling. Maybe like one of the basic moves, like how we have like how I had in the other book, like creature is always faster than humans. Maybe one of its like little sub things is like creature can use its claw to stick to anything or to dig into anything. Like it can
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hang from ceilings, it can walk up walls, it can latch onto creatures or people. Probably rooted in mounds of corpses, babies, or more. Yeah, right. Yeah. So maybe we can focus on the flash. What does the flash do? And then we can kind of be like, maybe it only does like its rend move if something is like incapacitated.
Okay.
Like maybe that's when like it's the most deadly. Then nobody will have to lose any fingies because.
I would say that if that's the case, say keep, shake, rattle, and rend for the mother.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm saying shake, rattle, and rend can be like if they get incapacitated by the light. Like maybe that's a move it would use because you know, or maybe you take more damage from its bite because you're incapacitated. Like you can't dodge it, you can't do anything. Like even if you're wearing like a chest piece for armor, it's gonna bite you in the face. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, like I don't disorients victims when making them slower. Yeah, so maybe we can do blinded by the light. Like what roll plus tough maybe or to resist or no or would it be?
Or it could be tough, or it could be cool.
It'd be cool. Yeah, like act under pressure to avoid like yeah, maybe to
Mm.
avoid like the flash. Flash could hypnotize and entice victims into its mouth range. It could. Yeah, I think maybe hypnotize is a bad word. Maybe it just flashes things up close like cuz if you get like a point blank a flash bang grenade in your face, it could
Mm-hmm.
potentially knock you out. So maybe it's just like a flash and less of a hypnotic thing. Maybe just the infection that it gives the animals and stuff is what makes them kind of
Mm.
hive minded. Eyes could change to a different color and do direct
Oh, here we go.
armor like
Beholders.
beholder, right? Blue eyes is lore, red eyes is hypno. Hmm. Clear eyes has the ingredients to moisturize. Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, why don't we do roll plus cool to avoid being flashed. Keep your cool while being flashed.
Alright. To
Um,
to keep you cool. Roll plus cool to keep you
yeah.
cool.
Roll plus cool to avoid the flash. To avoid
When Hunter
the
is flashed by creature,
yes,
because we haven't named
yes.
it yet. Roll
When
plus
hunter is flashed
cool.
by creature. I usually put creature in there anyway. I usually don't put the
Yeah,
creature's
you
name in
do.
these anyhow. So like I just put like, when creature does this, when creature does that.
Okay, so what
Yeah.
happens if they roll shit? What'll happen? They are
Um
stunned. They're
I would say that
incapacitated.
like yeah, they're temporarily unconscious. I think it just like, if they truly get caught face to face with a flash, like I think that's just gonna like, knock them unconscious.
And
Um,
seven would disorient. Well, seven is still supposed to be a success, but
right.
yeah. a success.
Right, like
But
yeah, I think maybe they don't fall unconscious, but maybe they're like, blinded, well, not blinded, but like disoriented, where like maybe everything's kind of blurry for a few moments, enough for it to like attack or to, maybe have them have like a
the
negative to something, like
a standard option here is like what you just said to do a negative. So it could be
like
minus
Hunter is temporarily disoriented -1 to on the next, I don't know. Uh
-1 forward or -1 on certain rolls ongoing for while they're in
Yeah,
that
maybe
scene.
maybe just -1 forward to the next roll or something. Yeah, because like I can't
-1
imagine it's gonna
forward.
last like super long as they don't stick around next to it. Um, miss twice and you're controlled until you roll plus word. Yeah, I'm like on the fence about the hypnotic thing. I do like it, but I'm thinking more so maybe that angle is more so for like the babies. Like if they infect something, that would probably more so where like the control could potentially come from. Um, um because I don't want this to be like a threat level midnight monster. Like I want this to be
Mm.
like maybe like a medium level, maybe not so much beginner level, and because like it can like control like creatures and shit. So I want it to be like if they can solve the mystery, like that's the hard part. Like where is it? How do we find it? How do we keep it from propagating or from blinding us? But if they go in equipped properly, it shouldn't be a difficult battle. you know. Um, the mother grows out of the hypnosis right, it becomes the breeder, and the babies are like the ones that, because they're infecting something, is like more of like the hypnotic aspect of it. So blinded by the light. When Hunter is flashed by a creature, roll plus cool 10, you avoided the blinding light. 9, disoriented, -1 forward. Miss, rendered unconscious. If you do a controlling move, can you call it Legion to Arms? Sure. Yeah, I like neat names for moves. um Okay, so we have the light. How do we feel about that, Miss Sarah?
I think that looks pretty fine. What do you intend to do with the hunters, the prey, after they are rendered unconscious? Do they automatically get infected, or
Well,
what?
I think that gives them maybe like they don't get. Maybe that means that they can't avoid any sort of incoming attacks. Like I think like the whatever it is that's there. Maybe there's like maybe something that's infected, like an infected deer is there. Like maybe that just leaves them very vulnerable, and maybe one of the other hunters has to protect them. Or it'll make some of the other hunters have to like jump into action. So yeah, I think it just makes
Okay.
them completely vulnerable to attack. You know, they can't avoid it. Oh, maybe it's like no armor. Like maybe if something's like gonna attack them. Like typically, even if you're wearing armor, like you're trying to make sure that the armor is what gets hit. But if
Yeah.
you're unconscious, like something could easily just like toss you around or hit your weak point. So
Yeah.
maybe you're vulnerable to attack, and like armor is ignored on like the next attack unless you're protected or something. Um,
Yeah.
but I think that leaves you pretty vulnerable if you're just laying
Yeah.
there nearly.
If hunters do get infected, do you want to have like an infection countdown that they work their way through so that they still have time? They can still be played by the player for the rest of the mystery until the point where they are unable to, you know.
Yeah, I think maybe it could be like a stacking like negative, or like kind of like how like Rust works, the Rust monsters or whatever they're called work in D&D, where
-1.
like multiple, like, except in this case it'd be like over time. Like
Mm-hmm.
anytime you fail the tough roll, it gets worse. Like maybe you have -1 to tough, and then you have to roll a tough roll to resist it, and then you fail the tough roll, and then now it's -2, and maybe after like 3 or 4 or 5 fails, whatever, you know, maybe like you lose your faculties or maybe the creature can influence you somehow. I don't want to take control completely away because I think for the player that's
Yeah,
not fun, but like maybe
but
it
that
can
there
influence
is
their.
a personal countdown in a sense that there's now a personal stress and tension, as opposed to just the
Right.
group
Yeah.
having to work against the main countdown.
Right, like maybe like a minus, like what Dixon said, -1 ongoing to, or minus. Maybe the -1 gets bigger every time they fail. Like maybe now it's -2 ongoing when doing anything that would attack the mother, or -3 ongoing now
Yeah,
if anything
yeah,
that would
yeah.
harm the mother. Um,
What if every time
or like
they
just like
once
Okami said,
once infected, every time they fail a roll, it just adds another -1 ongoing?
mine am failing any roll.
Yeah. Or do you want to,
Oh, that's mean.
or do you want
Ooh,
to
that's
have them
mean.
roll a specific thing with a? Well, what about
I
every
think it
time
would be
they
really
fail a roll, the keeper makes them then roll on their infection countdown, so they've still got a
sure. Yeah,
chance,
maybe
but that could be the prompt every
right.
time
Like,
you fail. Yeah.
or we could make it be like, yeah. Anytime they fail a roll, it like, yeah, maybe, especially if it's like tough. Or anytime they roll, or maybe it's like anytime they roll an attack roll, anything that could potentially harm the mother or its babies. They have to roll against like the willpower of the mother to be like, no, 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 don't do that thing.
So an act
So
under
like,
pressure. Kind of
huh?
like Sanctuary, an act under pressure. Kind of like Sanctuary in D&D, where if the mother and the babies have like Sanctuary on them, so in order for you to do anything against them, you have to roll an act under pressure in order to do what you want to do against them.
Sure, yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, so like, and then every time you fail that roll, it gets worse.
Yeah, I like
Like,
that. Okay,
yeah,
that
anytime you fail, infected have a certain amount of fails before they take damage. Yeah, I do think after a while it would probably personal countdown reflected in the harm boxes. I mean, we could make it like, the more hurt they are, the harder it is for them to resist it because, like
we don't want it to get
that would be
too
a lot of layers.
complicated, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of layers. Yeah. Then they start by harm directly after 4 infections. If they die or drop to 0 harm left, they get controlled. Well, yeah, I think that that's pretty reasonable. That if like a hunter falls in battle, that like, yeah, that that the creature can if they're already infected, that it could reasonably take control of them. Sure, because they're dead now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair. Yeah, we could just put that as like one of their. What did we call that in the? Was it just under special moves that we put like creatures always faster than humans, or how did we do that? I don't remember.
Powers
Let me look.
might have been under
Huh? Yeah,
powers.
yeah, yeah. Let me look real quick. Um, yeah, like we would have it under. Yeah, I didn't really. It was just under attack, so it was just under like it would like hellish speed. Like the Snallygaster has hellish speed. Creature will always be faster than humans in most aircrafts. Like it's just something they can do. So like we could just have it as like if a hunter falls to the infection, the creature just has control of that hunter. Like that can just be because I mean, what are they gonna do? They're dead. I mean, like sorry, you died either way. you
Mm.
know. Creature takes control of fighter, but fighter has half of its original stats. Spend luck to remove 3 infections. Oh man, that would be really mean to make them spend their luck.
Ooh.
So like,
Well, you can
we should
spend
save
luck
these for
to
some other
save
creatures,
yourself
though.
from harm. So, in theory, this is harm that they would be saving themselves from.
It's true. If you fail, you have -1 to rolls ongoing.
Yeah.
They will learn. Yeah. So blinded by the lights. Once infected, every yeah. So infection. Are we clear on how it is? Is that from a bite? Are we saying?
Well, we haven't worked that out yet.
Yeah. So, um, what's start thinking of moves for infection. Like what a name for like resisting the infection. Um, in should be from the claw. You think? Like if they get slashed by the claw.
Chloral teeth.
I feel like I get why you say the claw because like that's probably how they would. Like if they're like rending into like riding it or something like that. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, we could, maybe like it rolls onto its like giant bulbous head and then just like whips its claw around and like creates like a, you know, like a slash. Yeah, so maybe the bite is just for, really fucking people up. Like that's its main source of just hurting things, and then its claws like where like uh its venom is, or its little uh
Like cat scratch fever.
germs. Right, like catch scratch fever, yeah.
So it wouldn't
We
be
can call
shake,
it
rattle, and rend. It would be
clawful evil.
clawful evil. Yep.
Maybe only the babies infect. Emotional damage. Yeah, I need to have like if I make another creature that's like a trickster, I would definitely call emotional damage one of their moves, like for sure. The mama breeds and defends, the babies infect. Yeah, maybe we should like make that be about the babies. Like, well, the mom still
Mm.
has to make babies somewhere, so like, for
She's
them to
got to be
do that.
fed in
So
order to pump out babies, though, right?
right. So yeah, maybe the
Mom
mom,
is craving humans.
yeah, maybe the baby lays or the mom lays some babes
Hmm.
somehow. Maybe it like
So the longer it
yeah,
takes them to do this, the more they go down the main countdown, the more babies are out there zombie riding people all back
right.
to mum.
Yeah. Or like other animals and stuff. Like maybe some dogs go missing. Maybe a dog goes for a run in the woods and then like it never comes back. Or comes back like a day later looking real mangy. And then it runs into the woods leading its human owner to the mother. 1d4 babies.
That's
They
got to
grow
be a
big enough. Yeah, it
D6.
could
It's
be.
got to be a D6. We only have D6s in this game.
Yeah, we don't roll 1d4s in Monster of the Week, Dixon. If you're just joining us, hello, we're creating a monster for the game Monster of the Week. We've got a plant-like critter that we have a placeholder name called the Dandy Legion. Um, and it infects critters. Um, and makes little zombies, and then those zombies feed themselves to the mom so she can get big and strong and have more babies. What a wonderful world that is to be in.
I would say
Lawful evil.
once they're infected, though, they only have so many fails before that's it. That's it. They're off walking back to mummy. So I would say probably 3 fails because yeah,
Sure.
-3 since yeah. So
Yeah,
um,
or like for like bystanders or like animals or other things, like maybe it can just be like if it bites X amount of people, then like it's extracted all the venom it can have and it goes back and gets eaten. Like maybe 3 bites, yeah, 3 strikes, um,
on 3 fails,
three
you head to
strikes.
mummy to be eaten.
Yes, you go put your face right in Mummy's mouth.
Sure.
Mummy,
Not daddy.
Daddy. That's good stuff. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I say that every
How
so
does
often.
how does
Daddy.
Eddie. Remove an effect to work against it. I mean, maybe I wouldn't. Sure. I mean, I think honestly, yeah, like if somebody wanted to help heal it, like if they noticed that the infection was getting wild. I mean, I'm sure as long as the keeper is fine with it. I mean, there's probably ways, especially magic can do a lot of shit. But if the spell fails, maybe it makes it worse. Maybe it like doubles so something for a creative keeper to get in mind. Like if you try to cure it, it only gets worse. But
Well, like you said, I like that one of spending luck. Hunter may choose to spend luck to remove a fail or to remove infection.
I just don't know how. I don't know how in fiction spending luck would remove the infection. So like I think if anything they'd have to use it to I think they would probably know that they can use it to like resist you know, resist the infection. I just don't know how if they already have the infection how luck would just get rid of it. Like I would
Okay.
need to know in the fiction like what would change. Like
So it
you
could
can't just will
remove
it out of your body.
one fail, like, oh, your body is, your immune system is fighting back or something. So it could just remove
Yeah,
one fail.
maybe that. Yeah, so it wouldn't get rid of the infection, but maybe it would like remove one of your fails where like, maybe you got an adrenaline boost or maybe you got yeah, like you said, maybe your immune system's kicking back into gear proper or something. It's learning how to fight it for that moment, you know.
Okay, another
Um
question is, what's the little baby's harm capacity? Like, how much health does it have, essentially? What's its hit points?
the babies, like it's
Yeah.
probably not a lot
No.
like if it's probably like one. Like I mean
One.
it's just a little turd, like it's not what's it I mean
So they're going to die in
I
one
mean,
hit, is basically what you're saying. So these are going to be something that is going to
yeah, you
be
can
more of a swarm type thing. If you find one, there's
yeah,
others
either it's gonna
around.
yeah, it's either going to be a swarm or like the baby itself. It's problematic is that like it's trying not to be seen until like it does the thing.
Till
Like we
opens
get
his
bitten by bugs
eyes.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like we get bitten all the time and we don't even know. And like sometimes it's a pretty big ass bug, So like this thing's whole thing is like it probably like latches onto a tree or like a bush or a home and just like waits for someone to pass by and it latches onto it and then. So if anything, its whole move would be to detect it, you know?
Okay, so
You know,
you want to put
like
down one? I would. Someone in there had said maybe three, so that's something like it would probably take, depending on what kind of hunter is attacking it, one or two moves to
yeah,
destroy.
I mean that's fine. It definitely doesn't have any armor. It's not very resilient. It's just a baby, you know. And and most hunter moves do 2 or 3 harm anyway. So really it's going to be like a one hit likely. But maybe it can still be able to bite back like if it's noticed it's being seen or something, but um it would just be more I can't imagine it would want to bite and do a lot of harm, though. I think it's probably ditch effort because it realizes it's a baby and can't do much. Its whole thing is going to be like, well, now it's going to really scramble to try to infect the thing before it gets killed, you know, to keep propagating like Mummy tells it to.
Well, I would say also it probably doesn't need any weaknesses then, because anything could kill it. But Mummy would probably definitely, the
Oh, yeah,
weakness would
for
be these
sure.
ones that are listed here.
Right. Maybe one harm from a hunter can squish it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, anywhere between 1 and 3 is fine. I don't, yeah. I think it just also depends on the hunter or on the GM,
Mm,
you know? Maybe it's a particularly, if something just wants to step on it completely, like, I mean, what the fuck's it gonna do? It's not a particularly agile creature, and yet it gets around because again, I keep thinking tick. A tick's or the thing that keeps coming back to my brain is like, you can brush up against like, I got one on me a few weeks ago. I was wearing full everything because I know ticks are in the woods where my sister lives, like full on sleeves and everything. But one of them latched onto my coat and I didn't know and just climbed up and fucking climbed back into my shirt and eventually found that it wanted to eat my arm. I don't think I would have noticed it had it not latched onto my forearm eventually, but like it wasn't on there when I left. So it was just like walking around waiting for a good spot to eat me.
mm.
So like this thing could easily just like wait for someone to brush past it and go, and just grab onto it. You know,
So we're saying
maybe its little
ignore
teeth are for
armor.
latching, huh?
So we're saying ignore armor if it can weasel its way in between like clothing layers, if they're
Oh
that
yeah, I
small.
think for sure that if it gets on you and you don't know it's there, there's no way that you would be able to defend against it because it's going to know where your skin is, you know. Like it's
Yeah.
not going to go, oh, whoa, this metal thing must be this person's skin, you know. Like a tick, they climb to the top of your boot and digs into your ankle. Hunters can take some of them off, maybe review. Yeah, yeah. Or, oh, what'd that say? Since infection comes from the claw, maybe depends on how many you have that are stuck onto you. I mean, maybe if they find a swarm, potentially, it could,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a swarm damage could be like between 1 and 3 harm. Um, depending on how many are there. But like, I think one by itself isn't going to do a ton of damage to you, but its main function is the infection. Like that's what it's for.
Mm.
You know, um, its whole thing is like we have to feed mom. Like, and we'll
Oh,
die trying.
Mom. She's so hungry. She got cravings for humans and animals. Okay.
Yes, mummy needs
So
food.
should we move on to Mummy then? What are the differences? She can essentially do some of what the babies can do, but what else can Mummy do?
Mummy has the flash. The babies don't. Mummy has like that's her main function of defending herself is the flash. Um, her harm capacity. Uh,
She'll be bigger, so she might have a bigger constitution than the guys that get stepped on.
yeah, summon the legions. Yeah, I like that move. Maybe that's like one of her moves that she does that she can just do called
Oh,
summon
bring
the
the
legions.
swarms back to her.
Yeah. Harm capacity. Probably like again, I think direct combat with it's not going to be that difficult, so probably like 7 or 8 maybe. With like, I can't imagine it has any armor either. It's just a plant. I don't think it has any defense moves that can like give it armor or you know.
Mm.
I think a couple of shotgun blasts to its giant cranium is probably more than enough to kill it. Um, but I do like the idea of like I always like to have the monster option for hunters who are a little bit more method, or for GMs that are more method. Where I prefer that most creatures like have some kind of um, weakness that like will keep it from coming back. So like even if like you
Mm.
blow it up with your shotgun or whatever, like it needs to be burned, so it doesn't propagate, or
Burned
you're just
or
gonna be
weed
back like a
killer.
weed. Right, like just like with weeds, like they're just gonna come back. You can cut them, you can mow them, but they're just gonna come back. You know, bigger plants are usually hard to kill too. Yeah, like
Okay.
that's true. That's why I'm giving it more harm capacity.
Dixon says the seed pod may be harder, 1 armor.
I mean, sure, that's fine. I mean, I guess it can be a little heartier, sure. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't need a whole lot. Um, but yeah, I think definitely like it needs to be burnt or it's just gonna come back later. Some little seedling's
Mm.
gonna crawl out of its squished melon,
Yeah.
or it's gonna bleed into the ground and something's gonna grow out of it eventually. So yeah, you gotta destroy it within like an hour. It's gonna have already like dropped some little seedlings into the ground, or they've already crawled their way in there. Um, so yeah, I definitely just like with the zombies, like you gotta burn them, or the goblins. I think in the
Mhm.
old other
Mhm.
book it was like if you don't burn a goblin, like if something comes by and eats it, it's just gonna drive that thing crazy. So I very much like that. I like that you have to do something to fast growing weed, right? Like that could
Yeah.
be like it's part of its weakness. Fast growing weed, like if you don't burn it, it'll come back. You know, there'll be a new mummy. Please, please, mum, I want some more.
Yeah.
Oh, Amaranth is down to 10,000 viewers. Oh, 5,000 people left. Oh
Blair
man, they must have nutted.
must have nutted. What? Oh, I don't need to know. Never
it's
mind. I worked out
it's
what you
funny. It's
mean.
funnier to hear somebody with an accent like yours say it. They must have nutted.
Wow. Can I have my charger, please?
I don't do
I'm
a good
down.
Kiwi. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
No, you
I
keep
know you
going
say
Australian
had
or Cockney.
in teen. I buy not 9 but 10 teen things. Isn't that how you say it with a bunch of e's? Teen
Yeah, well, vowels are a bit different. Dixon's got a question there for
vowels.
you. Can this
Question:
thing feed
can this
off of?
thing
You go.
buried corpses?
Sure. Can this thing feed off of buried corpses like a graveyard or only fresh kills? I think it.
Warm blood? You mean feed off as in like it only wants to eat it when it's warm, or like it'll eat it even if it's cold? Um, I I think I agree. I think warm-blooded kills are probably the best because like it's probably where it gets the most like the blood isn't slowly dying with the rest of the body yet. You know, like it's still kind of there, so it probably gets the most bang for its buck. Yeah, probably. It probably wants to, yeah. Right, right. Kind of like how like a tick isn't going to likely climb onto a dead thing. It wants to know it has a pretty reliable source, you know, or at
Yeah,
least
the
it's a
blood
fresh
needs to be
source.
pumping,
Right. The blood needs to be pumping.
not coagulating.
Um, right. See, now we got a whole thing. Like we got a lot of, we got a did you model your did you model your layout after the creature compendium?
No, I really like the whole idea of the Polaroids, so I've been using them for everything. Did
Yeah,
you notice that on the one
I like
shots?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I just thought it was just you did it just because I was the GM, and so I thought you were doing it just
No,
to be.
no, no. This is the same layout that I had for when Mr. Ray was here to do Let's Make a Mystery.
Uh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Although I think we have tape and like paper clips and stuff. I think in the creature
Mm-hmm.
compendium,
Yeah.
but yeah. I was like I've been looking at this for a hot second. I was like, why does this
This
look
looks
familiar?
familiar. Yeah.
It's like it feels like home right now. It's interesting.
Well, I was using what I had on hand, so yeah.
No, I like it. I like it.
Is there anything else
Um,
we need? I mean,
let me
what
go
about a
through. Let me look at the
damage? How
creature.
much extra damage? What did you mean by the flash? Is that because there's a little flash for the blinded by the light for the babies, but what about the
Oh
flash that
no,
you
I was
had for
saying the flash is
mummy?
just for the mummy. No,
Oh,
I only want the flash for the mummy. I don't want the flash to be for the babies.
okay. So
I think the
only
babies
mummy
literally
can
their whole thing
infect.
is yeah, only oh, no, only mummy can flash.
Only mummy can
Um,
flash. Okay.
yeah, mummy's got those big beautiful blues that just you know.
Okay.
Um, that's how she protects herself from like if anything finds her. Oh yeah, it would definitely be a mass stun move. For sure.
Oh, when the hunter or hunters is mm,
These are.
is R, yep, flashed
Yeah, the babies have like a
by
steady little like yeah.
mummy, it causes
Mummy.
some
So,
trauma.
yeah, I think yeah, it definitely could be multiple people uh in the vicinity for sure. Like I said, like a flashbang grenade. I like that like if enough people are looking in that direction, could potentially knock out the whole party.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of them wakes up to a plant chewing on them.
Yeah.
Um, did we ever finish Shake, Rattle, and Roll? Or Shake, Rattle, and Rend, I mean?
No, we didn't, because you moved on to Clawful Evil. We
Oh,
didn't do
sorry. Somebody
Shake,
said
Riddle, and
something in the
Rend.
chat. Who is it? What are we talking? Wait, we didn't?
What's Shake, Riddle, and
Oh.
Rend? What did you even want for it to do? Is that the
Oh, well, you said something about like shaking it up. I thought that was neat.
No, I
Um,
think that was Dixon talking about shaking it up, like a dog does a
oh,
terrier.
Shake, Rattle, and Rend.
But I think that was when we were
Um,
thinking it had something to do with infecting. But did you want claws, like
hmm.
something like one harm?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, we should definitely have the claw be an attack. Like it's not going to do a lot, but its point is to infect. So even if you take no damage, like from like with armor or whatever, like that doesn't mean that or maybe that's a good point. If they take I guess it depends on where they hit them, because like I think the GM would have to be very specific, like, oh, it lashes at your leg, um, because like if you were just wearing like a flak jacket, like that's not going to keep you from getting maybe like one harm close. Um, yeah, yeah, I can't imagine it does a shit ton of harm.
No,
It's just
it's
a
more back the
latching move,
fuck
two stage
off.
attack, a bites burst. Mommy issues. That's the latching move. That's latching because yeah, that's good. Mommy issues. Mommy issues the pain. Um, um, yeah. Should we have Clawful Evil be like instead of when Hunter is scratched, maybe if
Maybe.
because like yeah, I do like the idea that like it has to latch to like kind of like how the babies do, like they're latching onto something for a while to like pump itself into them. That didn't come out right, but you know what I mean.
Is that for mummy or for the babies?
Maybe we shouldn't. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have the mom be able to infect. Yeah, I think maybe we should just settle on like, yeah, maybe the claws do 1 or 2 harm, the teeth do 3, they has the flash move, and the babies do the. I mean, I'm sure it could latch too. Maybe we could. That's a good point, Okami. Seems like a big harm move for like a crocodile rolling. Yeah, yeah. Like maybe if the maybe it has like a drop like a dive bomber move where like it drops off of like ceilings or something or trees and then just like dive bombs its claw into you to like do the shake rattle and roll. Like yeah, maybe it's a big harm move. Or like if you if it succeeds at landing on top of you, it can just like swing its big bulbous head around and just toss your ass. you know? Yeah. Pumps out I like pumps out babies.
Yeah, well, that's a power, right? Out they
yeah.
go.
Yeah. My mind seeing the mummy as stationary. Yeah, I think while it breeds, definitely. But I think like if it knows that like something has entered its lair and like it's not something that is under its control, it'll probably de unanchor itself so it can defend itself. Um,
I think it
so
would
like it
call
would
its
definitely
babies to them, and the babies would be the ones defending mummy.
oh, you think?
Yeah, summon the
And so like it
legions.
would the mum. Okay, okay, that's fine. And then the mummy could just be like the. I think the mummy can still move, but like I think at this stage, if how far along in the stage it is, maybe it's still looking for a home. But like once it's found its home, yeah, maybe it's just relying on anything, because it would also probably call like anything that's infected, meaning like any other animals in the area,
Mhm.
so it would have
Mhm.
other things to defend it. Like a wolf or a horse or a cow or other people,
Yeah, and then you've got like presumably their weapons,
right? Like pitchforks,
guns,
guns,
especially if it's in America.
uh, especially if it's an American for sure. Um, you know, nudists, wolves.
What would the
You know,
weapons be of a nudist?
oh, you know, a
Flashing
dandy cow, right?
dandy cow.
Dandy cow.
Okay, so
Yeah, everything has the name dandy. It's a dandy bird. It's a dandy cow. It's a dandy. It's a dandy man. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Sarah?
I was going to say so that's essentially we've essentially got it right.
I think so. Yeah. Why don't we go through it real quick and just kind of scroll through the powers of our critters, or of our critter slash its babies.
Yeah.
Um, so the Dandy Legion is its placeholder name. I can't think of anything better at the moment. Um, I like the name though. It's kind of silly, but like we could also make a joke with that like in the book. Like, we couldn't come up with a better name for this thing, so we did like a name contest and somebody's 13-year-old named it. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
called the Dandy Legion. Somebody won a contest and they got to name this creature. It was an office poll or something. So like yeah, like oh, we could even make like a nod like to like one of the Sierra employees like, the one that likes to bake thought that was a funny name for it or something. Or like or
She's
like
not there anymore, man. She quit.
Right, but this could have been made before they quit, like
Uh-huh,
this,
uh-huh.
this could have been like pre Exodus,
I don't think
you
she
know.
would come up with Dandy Legion. That's more of a Mal thing.
Yeah, maybe Malcolm was like, "Yeah, Dandy Legion," and they're like, "Fuck, God, why did we let Mao even enter into this?" Mao put like 90s. He put his name in like 50 times and and won
Well,
the
the
drawings.
idea was is that it was Mel's copy of the first handbook, so
Right. Well, that's one of the alleged people that owns it. I have another person in mind that it might be, but that is one. I left it ambiguous because I wanted people
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
guess whose book it was. Um, Man, I'm really proud of that. I think we did a good job on that book, Sarah. I feel like it's really, I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mr. Raywood
Um,
Craig. Yeah. Like we should have like a flashback episodes like pre-Exodus of like other adventures you guys did like early on or something. And then like we can have just like, "Oh, hey, sorry guys, I was just entering a contest. What are we gonna talk about?" And then like we come up later and it's like, "Hey, this is the thing I named."
mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm.
it. Um
All right. So
uh yeah, so I
named
think yeah, let's
Dandy
go through it. Go
Legion.
ahead. It's your
Yeah.
show.
So we've got basically that it's a parasite that is active and alive, supernatural, hive-minded dandelion. One mother and it spreads its littlies. Maybe a Baba Yaga might
Please.
have created it or whatever. Likes to eat things and spread itself through these little fellas, which use their eyes to attract prey in the darkness and then kind of hypnotizes them in place in order for them to attack and get them to take them to mummy.
Mummy.
Yeah. Adam likes hippos and they've got 3 harm capacity with their teethies, 1 harm close with their claws. I saw what you did there, Adam. And we and we have clawful evil. So when the hunter is scratched, they roll tough. On a success, they shrug off the infection. On a mixed success, they just feel a little woozy and take -1 forward. And on a fail, congratulations, you are infected. Then we have the infection table. Once infected, every time you try to act against babies or mother, you must roll plus cool. On a success, you are able to act against them successfully. On a mixed success, you can act against them but add a -1 forward. And on a fail, you then have -1 to rolls ongoing that are stacking. And on 3 fails, you head to mummy to be eaten. A little side
Yes.
note there
Yes.
saying Hunter may choose to spend luck to remove 1 fail. They have a harm capacity
Yes.
of 1 to 3, and they have no armor because they are a baby.
They are a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it looks good. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mummy
Yeah.
is big and fat
Mummy.
and producing babies. She has the blinded by the light move. So when a hunter or hunters are in an area that is flashed by the creature, they must roll plus cool. On a success, they avoid being blinded by the light. On a mixed success, they are disoriented and take -1 forward. And on a miss, they are rendered unconscious and vulnerable to attack. This mother has some powers. Other than just pumping out babies, she can summon the
I,
legions and
I
call her babies back to her. What was that?
I also I like calling it Baby Factory. Baby
Baby
Factory
factory.
pumps out babies.
Yeah, sure. She has a higher harm
Baby
capacity
Factory.
of 8, an armor of 1 because, seed pods have a hardened shell. Weakness, she can set her on fire and use weed killer. Hits a plant. Make sure it doesn't come back.
Yes. Yeah, I like it. Also, did you click on the thing that Trogs made?
No, I did not click on it. Why? What
It's
is it?
beautiful.
I clicked
It's
on
a
it.
dandy legion.
It's a dandy legion.
It's so good.
Oh, you've been drawing. Right. Wow, it's got a body
It's
even.
beautiful. I love it.
Well, what I will
It
do.
is so good. Please share that on Twitter. Please put that on Twitter. Hey, look at what we made.
Yeah, sure.
I also put as a placeholder name, I put Dandy Legion or Damn D Lion
Uh-huh, mhm.
or Damn D Legion. I don't know. We should have a vote on that. I like them both. I like Dandy Legion though. Yeah, I think some. Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad because I came up with both of the names, but like, would you make up stats for those as they go along?
Huh?
Yeah, likely. Yeah, because I don't want the whole page to be. I think maybe we can make like an index or something in the back of like random like like a like deer damage or some shit. Or like we can just put maybe like animals can do like 1 to 3 harm or something. I really want that to be up to the
Yeah, we could just add a little note saying Mad Keeper's discretion as to how much
yeah,
damage an
because I could
infected
also because
animal or person can cause.
right, because I haven't like written the synopsis yet for it, so like I can put in there like like it infects not just people but animals too, and it can call them back. So like, and we can put like a little note in there like at the GM's discretion, in Florida it might go through your windshield. Yes, deer do exclusive damage to cars, and crops. Um, so, but yeah, I think in the description, like the written version, I think yeah. But I love that Dandy Legion. That's so good. Dandy Lion. Well, you know what? You've already worked on that. It says Dandy Legion, so let's just call it Dandy Legion. That's just what we're gonna call it.
Trogs has
Dandy Legion.
decided.
Or
Yeah.
Trogs has decided because they made this wonderful piece of fan art.
Yeah, I was just gonna add on when Adam was talking about the synopsis and stuff. When he made the compendium, he basically had the narrative, the synopsis, all of that information, description of it, what it can do, how to contain it, how to kill it, that kind of thing. It was all written out like that, but because it needs to, the book needed to be something that new keepers could pick up and could use and be sort of similar to the existing original official published stuff. We went through and it was like, okay, you need to stat this out so people can just look at it at a glance, and quickly say what the monster can do, how much damage it can cause and stuff like that. So yeah, obviously Adam comes at its story narrative first, and that's then stated out that way, which is essentially what we did
Yeah.
for this monster, the Dandy Legion.
Yeah, I definitely don't think stats first. I because I want to know about it before like I want to, you need to know what it is before you just it has teeth, so yeah, sure it can bite, but like is there anything special about it? Why is it here? What does it exist for? But yeah, so then all the stuff we talked about, I'll just add in later and just like script it out and
Hmm. Hmm.
you know, that's the fun part for me. But Sarah was definitely just like, well, how do you play this move? I'm like, oh, I know they can hypnotize. Well, how do the hunters resist it? I don't know. I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm open to ideas. But yeah, um, Rosie,
Rose
you're
is
back. Yeah,
back.
check out this thing, man. Yeah, you see the picture? Yeah, it makes it.
Trogs made that picture.
So we,
Rosie just said, wow, this creature has devolved.
yes, the Dandy Legion is what we came up with. Um, were you here when we came up with that, Rosie? I don't remember if we had called it that before you left. Um, but yes, the Dandy Legion. So silly. Um, yeah. Did backish? I'm about to broil some apricots. Well, hey, maybe those apricots are monsters too, and they'll infect you. Make
Yeah,
sure they don't have
the
little teepees.
babies. TVs.
Yeah, the little babies. Make sure they don't have little teepees. He's being thrown out as a dandelion. Yeah, I was either gonna call it the Damnedy Lion or the Damnedy Legion or Dandy Legion, but Dandy Legion kind of flows off the mouth a little bit easier, I think. I like Damnedy Legion or Damnedy Lion, but like I have to really make my mouth do that. Apricots, yes. They definitely got to get inside me. Ooh, they're gonna get in you so good, Rosie. They're gonna get in you so good. You're apricot in their web of lies. But yeah, so here we go. That's how that's that. I would say that that's always the process, but I definitely, like Sarah said, it is very story forward first. I very much want to know why. I'm a big why question asker in life too. Like if I start a new job, I'm very much a why asker. Like, all right, we'll just go do this. I'm like, what for? What's it like? Why do I have to do that? What does it mean to the company for me to do this? If it's just because I said so, then I'm not going to do it. I need to know why. I need to know why things do what they do and why they are what they are. Must be the extrovert in me. But yeah, any other questions for me or for Sarah? Sarah is also alive. She's a
Yeah,
person.
I'm
She's
alive.
creative. She
I
is
make
much more
things.
organized and structured. She does. She knits,
No,
crochets.
I do
What?
not
Knits?
knit. I
Knitting?
cross stitch.
She she cross stitches, which to me it's the same thing, but to her it's not. Yes, look at that.
There's an update of the cross stitch that I'll be working on again tomorrow for the listen party. Ooh, look at Anne
Yeah.
Marie. She's almost finished.
Why do I keep coming back for punishment when Sierra keeps trying to break my games? Um, you know, I'm a big proponent of yes and I think that I appreciate when I want people to try to break my game. It keeps me fresh, I think. As
Challenge
frustrating as it can be
accepted.
in the moment, yes, especially when someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take this time travel stone and run with it." I'm like,
And
"Okay."
save my boyfriend. Yeah.
And save my voice. It's like, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but you
Yeah.
know what? That's on me.
Yep.
That's on me for assuming that Chelsea would be rational. Um, but it makes for fun. It really does. I'm always someone who likes to roll with it. Um, and as frustrating as challenging as it can be sometimes, I'm very grateful for it because um, it brings a new level of interest. You
Dixon
did
says,
ignore her while
yeah,
talking to yes.
that was the whole point. I was purposely being quiet so that she could sneak off during the distraction.
And
But
you
yeah,
took poor Leslie with you.
I didn't intend to, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I just thought I was already dealing with an increasingly maddening Carlton, and I definitely did not want the stone to get into his hands because he's already
He's
got
gone
an evil
evil.
man inside of his brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna go full Rasputin someday. I know he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Someday he's gonna go full Rasputin. And for those of you who don't know, Rasputin um, is a character that showed up in the first season that we ever did of the show,
Ah.
Dungeon World. So he was like, essentially, I didn't know it at the time, but he's ended up being the big bad evil guy of that season. And it doesn't go the way you would think with the heroes. That was a big learning point for me, which is probably why I embrace Sarah's madness, is because something bad, really, really bad happened in the first season that like you would think the heroes would save the day, but they don't because of them just being stupid. And like I had to teach them that a countdown clock exists for a reason, and this is why you don't do things. So, but yeah, so as different as it is from Monster of the Week, I'm very proud that we did that. But that's probably why I deal with Sarah the way I do because I dealt with chaos from the beginning.
I'm not that
I didn't know they were gonna.
chaotic.
No, no, I think that you get more chaotic depending on who you're with. I think that you I think you influence people and are influenced by like when Dan's around, when Onyx is around, you get real weird too. um I'm sorry, Karn said, or do you have monsters that cause hallucinations? That you mean that cause hallucinations? Yes, the trickster and the leprechaun can both do that. That's not their primary function, but they can certainly. Well, I don't know if they cause hallucinations as much as they um, manipulate reality so that you see what they want them to what they want you to see. Like when Chelsea almost kissed a fake Malcolm or whatever, or when like a fake Malcolm let her out of the bar or whatever that was. Can't remember exactly how that went.
Yeah.
Don't yeah, I think Darby did that, right? Didn't Darby be like, "Hey, there's my girl" or some shit like that?
Yeah.
That
She
was
was
great. I
like,
love Darby.
I know he's not really welcome, but you know.
But also, I want that good Malcolm D. Give me that Malcolm D. Give me that
Sure.
vitamin D, Mal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Any other
Yeah. If
questions or
there's any other, yeah.
we'll pimp the guide one more time. maybe he would roll better than Malcolm. Well, he might roll better than Malcolm, but he's also been with Aunt Cassia and Granny.
And Granny.
Ooh.
But he's been everywhere, man.
He's going to Leslie next.
That's his goal, but he actually respects her. So I think it's challenging for him. I think it's hard for Darby because he actually likes Leslie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's like, "Oh, I could use my usual tricks, but she has a steel trap mind." I think we resolved that like there's nothing special about Leslie. She's just so good at protecting her brain and being private that Darby can't like infiltrate her brain, and I think that turns him on. I think he's like, can she resist me? This is awful. So I don't know. Who knows if it's true love or not? But he wants to take her out. He gave her one of the most powerful things in the whole universe. He gave her a phone that can control time and can text anybody across the universe. That's fucking crazy. And she's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so if you guys want to
um,
check out the shenanigans of Bravo and Charlie Team, you can do that. Role Players is the podcast. There's a link up there on the chatty box. You can find it.
yep.
And also the creature, what did you end up calling it? Sierra Corp presents the Ultimate
Sierra
Creature
Corp presents.
Compendium Volume 1. And the link is...
Yes, and we have begun working on volume 2.
Mm-hmm. And the
Well,
link's in the
I
chatty
have at
box
least. I'm
too.
gathering critters.
Gathering
Yes, links in
critters.
Chatty Box. Chatty Box is such a Kiwi thing too. The Chatty Box.
I
Look
don't
at
know.
the
I
Chatty
just
Box.
decided to call it that. But yeah. Where can people find you on Twitter and your other social medias, Adam?
Uh, that. That will let me. There we go.
Yeah.
That on Twitter. That's where I hang out mostly. I know my name is Fun Installers on here, but I was doing things with a different channel name on Twitch. But role players at role players win on Twitter is where you can hang out. Also, if you want to have some input on like what the creatures are called, I'm like just putting pictures up to see if anybody wants to help me name these things. So if you want to have, also if you want to have your name put in the book, does role players have a Discord? They do have a Discord. We do have a Discord. um, I have one that's private, and then I have the Monster of the Week extended universe one that everybody hangs out in. So, yeah, I think Sarah can do invites too. So, she's a modulator,
Uh huh.
in
Yep.
there. So,
I modulate.
because she modulates hard. Um, she does it so hard she's often modulate. um, so yeah, yeah, Twitter. Come and hang out. And if you want your name in the book, if you want to make monster suggestions, or if you want to draw one like as beautifully as this one here from Paint, and if you want to kind of have it, I think that maybe this time around, Sarah, I'd like to do like a thank you page or like
Yeah.
a submitted drawings page or something like that. So I think that'd be really fun,
Mm-hmm.
to like maybe promote other people who may make stuff. So yeah, if you have something that you want to draw that you want to see put in the book, whether it's a monster or just something that you want to debut in the back of the book, like a sponsorship thing, maybe not sponsorship, but like a partner thing, you know, you're like, hey, so and so submitted this, so check out their page or whatever. I'd be more than happy to do interpromotional stuff as well. So if you know somebody who likes that sort of shit, send them my way, please and thank you.
Yeah. Okay, that's
That's it.
great.
That's all I got.
Yep, that's all he's got. He's done. He's done, folks. Oh my god, he's done. I just want to pimp the stream that you're watching right now. Zero does stuff. If you haven't dropped a follow, please drop a follow. We are so close to 50 follows, and once we get to 50 follows, not only will I become an affiliate on Twitch, but Trugs will buy me ring lights. Yay!
Yeah. Yeah.
Tomorrow is another listen party and cross stitch along. Brigade and Wolf episode 7 is what we're up to. That's tomorrow from 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And if you're in New Zealand, that's from 11 in the morning because I have to get up early, I guess. And I'm
Early.
also, early. Yeah, early for me. I also have to schedule, what was it? One shot that Mr. Ray is going to be running, and we're going to stream it. Players will be myself, Rosie, and Onyx Robot / Dan. And we'll be playing one of Mr. Ray's one-shot games that he'll be running, and we'll see how that goes. At the moment, it's looking like the last Saturday of the month. Not sure on time yet, but we will nail that down later. Dixon,
We will
yes,
nail it hard.
totally see you tomorrow for Cross Stitch in episode 7 of Renegade Wolf. Possibly episode 8. I don't know. We listened to 2 episodes last week because these guys are crazy and
Wow.
demanded more. But yeah.
That's so nice.
It is nice, isn't it? Those interested in Redgate and Wolf, I guess I should pimp that also. Redgate and Wolf is an actual play Monster of the Week podcast. A sassy thief and a Scottish werewolf. What do? They hunt monsters, they roll dice, they bicker in a small fictional American town named after Jimi Hendrix. Details for that.
Guess what it's called?
Yeah, Redgate and Wolf.
No, I mean the town
The
named
town.
after Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Guess what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Hendrix.
It's called Jimmy.
It's called Jimmy, yeah.
It's called Jimmy.
Shenanigans are happening. So if you want to catch up or join in, we'll see you tomorrow from 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I think that's probably about it. I've pimped everything we need to pimp. If anyone wants to look up Mr. Ray's games, I'll just pop that in there as well. You can grab that link. Thank you again very much to Adam for coming in here and showing us how to do these things.
Yes, showing you how.
Yeah, showing
Instead
us
of
how.
just feeding off of what people say.
Yeah. And thank you to everyone for joining us and watching us live and contributing to the chat and helping us make these monsters. Right now, Adam, all we have to do is wave awkwardly until we sign out. Well, I find the button I have to click on. Yeah.